What's up, guys? Let's Handsome Jack here, and today we are going to update our Yeetbot build for level 65. So to start off, I want to talk about a few key interactions that really make this build work and why TEDIORE is the best weapon manufacturer in the game. Number one, TEDIORE weapons count as grenades when thrown. So when we throw that projectile is going to count as a grenade. So it's going to get extra bonuses like our action skill active grenade damage 150%. It's going to get grenade damage on artifact. It's going to get grenade damage on comm, splash damage, and on top of all that, it also gets weapon damage bonuses. So the bonuses from all of these chucks are going to be absolutely massive, on top of the fact that you're throwing an entire magazine. So take card damage times pellets times ammo left in mag, and then add in all of the extra bonuses that we're going to get, and TEDIORE is an absolute powerhouse. A few more key interactions are going to be with things like hollow points. When our bangerang projectiles hit crits and explode enemies, it's going to cause hollow point to explode, which gets mayhem scaling. We're using radiation weapons, so we're going to get rad explosions procced on absolutely everything because all of the weapons are radiation except for this corrosive one, but we'll talk about that later. So we're just going to be rad exploding, hollow point exploding, and just generally exploding absolutely everything with our TEDIORE reloads, and that's all this build basically is. So let's talk about the weapons first. Number one weapon that you want to have is the Anarchy. Times 20 is preferable, but it'll get the job done with absolutely anything. This weapon is currently broken. When they went and patched in a fix for emote canceling, they accidentally broke it. So now whenever you reload, you're going to get a stack, whether that's just fire one and shoots or unload the clip. Whatever you do, you're going to get a stack of Anarchy. So just fire one reload is going to stack your Anarchy. And the Anarchy stacks also buff the projectile, so this thing is going to hit in the hundreds of millions of damage at max stacks. Next one up is the bangerang. The bangerang is one of the best weapons in the game, and I will always say that. I have always said it, and I will continue to always say it. Bangerang projectiles spray bullets absolutely everywhere that will irradiate enemies. It'll spread dots all over the map. They'll proc hollow points for more explosions. They'll rad explode everything in sight. And the chucks still do absolutely fantastic damage. With an optimal setup, you're hitting around 30 to 40 million per bangerang. So with a reload speed of 1, you can kind of see how that can really stack up an absolute ton of damage. And that's really all you need for this build. You don't need an Anarchy, you don't need a bangerang, but you need one of them. If they ever fix the Anarchy, it'll be absolutely useless for this build, so don't come in and try to rely on it. The bangerang will absolutely get the job done. A few more noteworthy weapons are going to be the sure shot. The suffix doesn't matter, the prefix doesn't matter. What matters is that you have homing merv. So every TEDIORE has a type mod, which is going to be either homing, legs, TEDIORE module, or I forget the fourth one, but we'll talk about it later. You want homing whenever possible, and then you also want the merv. It's called the accessory. Mervs drop extra projectiles when they explode, so this will drop 3 extra projectiles, each doing 50% damage. So this thing on its own is going to hit for about 10 million, and then it's also going to drop 3 Mervs that will home in on enemies. That'll also hit for about 5 million each. So it's about 25 million per chuck with a 19 round mag. So it's not it's not bad on your ammo. Noteworthy items are going to be the Handsome Jackhammer, is also another great gun. The Gunnerang is going to be great if you don't have a bangerang. It's much better for smaller single targets and flying enemies because it has less of an arc than the bangerang, and it homes in on targets better. Its chuck damage is slightly higher, but it's not as high DPS because of the bullets that the bangerang projectiles throw out. Smart Gun is a decent option against corrosive enemies, but you don't want to miss your shots because the drones do absolutely nothing. And then everything else in this backpack is just kind of in here for fun for you guys to test out. The bright side is okay. The Pat Mark III has its issues that we can talk about later. The long musket is absolute trash. The Polybius is trash. Scorpio's in here because I have a channel point redemption for Scorpio takedown. Horizon's not very good, but you can get some janky one-shots on it. And then pretty much all of the purples are halfway decent. The Super Streamer is one of the best guns that TEDIORE has to offer. It is actually not unique. It's just a reskin of the Everblast. It's just a shock reskin of the Everblast. So again, homing Mervs on your Everblasts, one on each element, is going to be absolutely fantastic. And lurk shots, alright. The alien barrel's alright, but this is all just in here for you guys to have fun with if you want to download the save file. Our shield is going to be a red suit because we are exploding absolutely everything, and explosions are big and do a lot of damage, and you will constantly kill yourself if you're not element matching. We're using a red fang to draw aggro because we're using the red suit and deathless. We do not have a lot of health. We end up with about 21k health, or sorry, 21k shields and 1 health. So we're extremely squishy, and the aggro that the red fang draws is absolute necessity. You will stay alive almost constantly with the red fang on and gamma up. Passives are just going to be splash, weapon, and grenade. I've played with a few other passives. I think these are the best ones to go with for the comm. For the artifact, we're going with a cut purse deathless. Cut purse because obviously we use a ton of ammo and we need to replenish it. So we have cut purse, and then the deathless because we're using URAD, which is while under 50% health, deal 150% bonus radiation damage. That's just going to help pump out a bunch of extra damage, and also rad splode enemies, which also get our splash damage bonuses. For the passives on the artifact, I like grenade damage, AoE, and weapon reload speed. Grenade damage and AoE are pretty much necessities for this build, but the third passive is pretty much up to you. For my personal preference, I prefer weapon reload speed. Mag size is going to get you the max damage. You could also go with an element or pretty much anything else. The third passive is not wholly important. You cannot roll weapon damage on an artifact, and that's why the third one's up for grabs. For your grenade, we absolutely have to go with Fish Slap. I like the Singularity because it will pull enemies in, and the more enemies that the grenade hits, the more ammo you'll get back from proccing the Cut Purse artifact with it. So if you throw a Fish Slap and 4 enemies are damaged by that Fish Slap, it'll proc the Cut Purse 4 times. If you're using a pistol, you get 400 ammo back. So one Fish Slap can go a long, long way. The anointment on this is going to be action skill active grenade damage increased by 150%, absolute necessity as well, because that's buffing literally everything we have. All of our weapons are grenades, so that is buffing absolutely everything. Now for the skill tree, it's a little bit unorthodox, and I've obviously added the 5 more points that we got from the level cap increase. We're going to go Stalker, Hunter's Eye, and Second Intention. Mostly to get down the tree. We're not using the Bounty Hunter, so Hunter's Eye isn't wholly necessary, but there's really nothing else in this tree that we want to do. Two Fang doesn't proc on TEDIORE grenades, so it doesn't matter for us. Second Intention is nice for the reload speed. And then we want Most Dangerous Game and Big Game because they're huge damage buffs for us. They buff, things like Stalker and Frenzy and Furious Attack, and then Most Dangerous Game is just a lot of flat buffs. Green Tree is what's changed since the level 60 variants. So we're going Furious Attack, Eager to Impress, and Lick the Wounds. And for our extra 5 points, we went ahead and we put 1 in Overclocked and 3 in Turn Tail and Run just to get down the tree for Hidden Machine. Hidden Machine is going to be active the majority of the time we're playing because of Gamma. So we're going to have a flat 24% bonus damage pretty much all the time, with the occasional 8 to 10 seconds here or there when Gamma's down. So Hidden Machine is where I put those extra points. We took a few points out of Blue Tree from the last time just to get down it. Now for Blue Tree, we've got 3 in Persistence Hunter and then 1 on each side just to get down it. 5 in Furious Attack, and I went ahead and put 2 on Who Rescued Who. We're doing so much damage that Who Rescued Who is basically going to keep your pet invincible. While in Gamma Burst, your pet's health never drops below 1 except for weird interactions like Scourge Bubble and sometimes Death Tears in the Malawan Takedown. So Who Rescued Who is really for those in-between times, so you don't lose action skill cooldown by reviving your pet with Gamma. We've got 3 in He-Bites, really just to get down the tree, 2 in He-Bites really just to get down the tree, but He-Bites can be great for things like killing an Anathema or other bossing. Psycho Head on a Stick, again just to get down the tree, to Barbaric Yop. 5 in Barbaric Yop because that's going to grant our pet bonuses, which is going to give us a bonus, I believe 20% gun damage, or elemental damage when we're using our Scorcher. And then 3 in Pack Tactics for more damage. The health doesn't matter for us because we're deathless. Our pet's going to be the Scorcher. It's going to give us a bonus 30% elemental damage. It's 10 flat, Barbaric Yop makes it 30. So our action skill is obviously going to be Gamma, and I would recommend Empathic Rage for the flat damage increase and Endurance to keep it up for as long as possible. I've played with the Radiation Aura, but it really doesn't do anything. And then Burst Aid, because we're deathless, doesn't matter for us really at all. You are going to need Groundbreaker, which is the red capstone in Guardian rank. Groundbreaker deals 25% of all melee damage you've accrued over the last 5 seconds. So your fish slaps are going to be proccing this every few seconds. Since we're using so much ammo, proccing the fish slap regularly to build up the cut purse, Groundbreaker is going to be huge damage every few seconds. So we're throwing fish slaps, I'd say every 8 to 10 seconds or so, just to keep our ammo up. And in those 8 to 10 seconds, we've built up so much damage from our massive Bangarang stacks and the Anarchy stacks and all of that stuff that Groundbreaker is going to hit for big damage every single time you throw a fish slap, unless you're throwing them in succession because you've lost a lot of ammo. For the mayhem modifiers, more than OK Boomer is the only thing that I would really prefer in slot 1. I usually prefer Speed Demon, but OK Boomer A increases our grenade damage by 25%, and as you know, our guns are grenades. And it also has enemies drop more grenade ammo, so you basically never run out. Running out of grenades means you run out of ammo, which is very bad, because we've got nothing to do if we can't chuck our TEDIOREs. And for the others, they're pretty much up to you. I like Postmortem, but you could also do things like Not the Face, because we're not dealing any crit damage. I also like Drone Ranger and Healy Avenger are great options, but the rest are pretty much up to you. As long as there's no elemental modifiers like high voltage or something like that. They're not inherently bad because we're not dealing any of those elemental damages that they'll be immune to, but the Novas can be problematic because they will kill us. But that's pretty much it for the build, guys. I'm going to go ahead and drop a save file in the description below. I'll also post links to my Twitter and Twitch if you guys want to check me out there. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the build, guys. Next build I'm going to do is probably either going to be Moze or Zane in the same, TEDIORE format. TEDIORE is what we do. I'm also going to drop a link to our Discord where we discuss all things TEDIORE and all that. So if you like this build, I'd absolutely love it if you left a like on the video and subscribed. Join our Discord if you want to hear about all things TEDIORE, and thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.